Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's OptiStellar. We're really excited to organize this session. Uh, for today, me along with Pallavi will be your host for the session today. I have almost 5 years of experience in digital marketing, and I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. I'll today be taking up the auto apply section of the overall session. And I will now hand it over to Pallavi.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everyone based on your different time zones. My name is Pallavi, and I am your immediate POC at the hour of need while having a good experience in Google Ads for a long time now. Coming from an agency background, I do understand the kind of challenges you'll face while working on the ads interface. And that's where Siddharth and I together will mediate your expectations through this entire session today, right? Now, again, a very warm welcome. Uh, we have some exciting opportunities for our attendees. This small bespoke session is designed to chat with the PMs from some of the most influential products and features. This is truly a rare opportunity, and we hope you take full advantage of this session, right? Lastly, we also have some of an exciting news about Google Swag. Engage with us through this live stream session over the next 1 hour. Ask questions, give product feedback, and then prizes will go to the folks who both engaged during the session and also fill out the feedback form via the form link here, which is there on the QR code. The form, very important. Please use this QR code or the link in the chat to fill out the form with a valid CID and email address. Remember, your CID and email address are both very vital for us to differentiate between each unique user that we have, and then based on that, we can announce the Google Swag winners. In order to qualify for anything you see here on the screen, you'll need to do two of these things, right? With that, I would just wait for another 30 seconds so that you all can quickly scan the QR code and fill in your respective details. Feel free to reach out to us in case of any questions, any queries. We are available on chat. We are available here directly. And we're going to discuss all about OptiScore and auto apply recommendations in details today, right? So, diving into the agenda for today, we will briefly explain what OptiScore is, how can you use it to improve your overall campaign performance, the different features of optimization score, and we'll also try to answer some of the frequently asked questions that we've heard from most of our agencies and advertisers, right? And then Siddharth will talk about auto apply recommendation and provide a sneak peek on the different things that we have recently launched or about to launch within the auto apply recommendations section, right? Now, in the digital landscape, what does a partnership typically look like? A marketer and the automated products working together is the perfect combination to set your marketing strategy apart. Both these aspects play a very significant role in impacting your campaign performance. While a marketer majorly works around defining their messages, determining their business objectives and strategy, automated products allow real time marketing by determining millions of signal combinations, right? Now, this fellow here interacts with the interface, handling multiple day to day activities in order to drive efficient results for his campaigns. Just like y'all, he has to work towards certain strategic planning, budget projections, create marketing insights, etc. All of this to scale his business. Now, amidst all these mundane tasks, he has spent ample time towards agenda preparation, search query analysis, and I'm pretty sure there are many more. That's where OptiScore and auto apply recommendation comes into picture, making your life a lot more easy. Rather than spending lot of your ample of your time towards the daily recurring tasks you do while working on the ads interface, now you can directly opt into one of these recommendations and make sure that all of the features that you have within auto apply recommendations and OptiScore are automated. Now, here we try to infer why automation is very critical to be leveraged across the market. In an increasingly competitive market and a complex customer journey, companies that have the ability to deliver relevant content to its customers at multiple moments across their purchase journey reported an increase in revenue by around 20%. With human supervision on top of your automated product adoption, one can see an additional 15% growth. Now, both these cases combined together drives a 35% increase on an average in the overall revenue, right? So that's the entire magic of automation. Once you combine the human intervention with uh, with active artificial intelligence, you will be able to see improved results in terms of overall 35% increase in revenue that we've seen in the past for most of our clients, right? Now, a typical work day for an agency account manager is categorized into four buckets, where they begin with working towards certain hygiene operations, and these include identifying relevant keywords, developing quality creatives for high click through rates, optimizing the account structure for a strong performance, and so on. And then they also have budget and bid optimizations, wherein they make changes based on their goals and also monitor and optimize bids for optimal results, right? Then you have advanced optimizations, which includes running tests and experiments, creating reports, developing insights, sharing new opportunities with your clients, etc. Lastly, they work towards strategic initiatives, wherein they design forward-thinking strategies that will help customers meet and exceed goals, build and present compelling narratives, and also pitch to inspire customers to explore new investment opportunities. Now, with OptiScore recommendations coming into picture, you are giving the system the leverage to automate the first two buckets while you shift focus towards the last two buckets. Using machine learning algorithm in the backend, Google scores your account based on the settings you have designed within your account, right? And upon learning these settings, it suggests certain best practices to ensure that your account is working at its full potential, thereby helping you improve your overall account performance. Now, the system will take into consideration your business inputs, your marketing objective, and also the bid strategies that you set for your campaign. And it will model real time auction signals to give you these set of recommendations. Therefore, opting into the OptiScore recommendations will keep hygiene operations and also bid and budget optimizations automated, while you can work towards advanced optimization and strategic initiatives towards the rest of the time, focusing on these areas, right? Now, here we talk about the importance of OptiScore recommendation adoption. In order to maximize conversions and stay ahead of the modern challenges, it is advisable that you adopt these recommendations while keeping a very close tab on the performance simultaneously. The AI algorithm will interact and understand the user behavior by tracking multiple signals through which they interact, right? And based on these analysis, they will suggest optimal channels and activities to drive more value to your business. This, in a way, will help you to be more efficient and you can execute these recommendations all at a scale by automating most of your manual tasks, right? Now, you may have multiple businesses or marketing objectives. You will get separate set of recommendations based on these objectives that you have set. As I said, these recommendations are goal aware and then they are assigned after looking into each of these objectives for each individual campaign that you have. So let's say, for example, you have one campaign where you want to focus upon lead generation, right? So that campaign will have a different bid strategy, will have different sets of ads and extensions, keywords targeting, compared to another campaign where the business objective is more towards getting online sales, right? So these statistical models takes into consideration all the real-time auctions and how the users are interacting with the interface to give you proper projections for the upcoming plan that you have, right? Now, yeah. The best way to master optimization is getting into the testing and learning approach, right? Now, Google has floated a new experiment feature for these OptiScore recommendations, understanding its user experience. And within this feature, you'll be able to experiment with a specific recommendation for a couple of days, and then, based on the performance, the account manager um, can adopt that specific recommendation across the rest of his campaigns, right? Now, let's say, for example, you see a recommendation that says that you want to opt into adding more broad match keywords to a campaign, right? You can simply opt into that specific recommendation using a one click recommendation experiment feature and monitor its impact before adopting the recommendation completely, right? So that is a very unique feature that we have recently launched within OptiScore recommendation, where you can actually measure the impact that a specific recommendation is about to create within a specific campaign, and based on that you can implement that specific feature for the rest of the period of time based on how it had been delivering results, right? Also, remember, if you have opted into a specific recommendation, you can opt out of it in the near future based on the performance it has been giving you for the rest of the period, right? So, always be confident that whether you are making any changes to your account while it comes to opting into any of these recommendations, it will not create a major impact within your account unless you keep a very close tab on how things are shaping up once you've opted into these recommendations, right? Now, let's move into a few of the myth busting queries that we come across from most of our agencies and advertisers, like I discussed before, right? Now, one of the very common myths that we have is that once you dismiss a recommendation, it is gone forever. Now, most of the clients or advertisers believe that there are certain recommendations that they need not opt into, right? And the reason why they want to dismiss that specific recommendation is that it is popping up over and over again on their interface, right? But remember, if you are actually opting out of that specific recommendation, it may repopulate within a certain period of time, maybe in a few weeks or so. And that is because the algorithm still understands that that specific recommendation is still valid within your interface. It still sees an opportunity that opting into that recommendation might help your account. But again, there is one more way through which you can get rid of it. The next common myth is that feedback is very pointless when dismissing a recommendation. Now, if I try to align my previous myth with this myth that we have just discussed, we see that most of the people believe that dismissing a recommendation will not pop up again in the future, right? But also, once you provide feedback to that recommendation and the interface understands the reason why you are not finding that specific recommendation valid, it will take those feedback into consideration. Not only that feedback will be taken into consideration by the interface, but it will also passed on to the product team for the future purpose to understand what are the common issues that a usual client or an advertiser is facing when it comes to working on the ads interface. And that's where you have the opportunity to dismiss a specific feedback and make sure it is not popping up again, right? So make sure you are providing a very valuable feedback as to why you don't find that specific recommendation to be helpful, right? So with that, we have discussed a few common myths that we have around OptiScore recommendations. Now I'm going to pass it over to Siddharth to walk through auto apply recommendations in details, right? So over to you, Siddharth.
Thanks, Pallavi. Thank you so much for the detailed explanation on OptiScore. That was really great. Hello, folks. Just a reminder again, we're looking forward to your queries. Please scan this QR code and put in your information, and please ask us as many queries as possible. Right. Oh, now going over to the next section. After Pallavi has explained about in detail about optimization score, what are the features, what are the levers within optimization score, right? How it is basically helping you improve your overall performance for your accounts. Now let us look at what is auto apply recommendations, what are the product features and benefits of auto apply recommendations, and how can we use auto apply recommendations to further improve the performance of our accounts, right? So just to give you a backdrop, right? OptiScore recommendations, within the subset of OptiScore recommendations, auto apply is just a subset of those recommendations. So if you say that there are almost 100 recommendations within OptiScore, about 23 recommendations right now lie within auto apply recommendation. What does that mean? Is basically these 23 recommendations can basically be opted in either through the normal, you go and opt into these recommendations manually, or you can also use them or opt into them via the auto apply route. Right. So now what are the most important features and benefits of using auto apply recommendations? The first and the most important feature is that you will be able to spend your time wisely, right? Because auto apply will help you save a lot of time in terms of being able to help you automate a lot of standardized recommendations that you want to opt in for your accounts. It will also help you capture into existing demand. Uh, Through the machine learning interface and through the artificial intelligence, it will be able to understand and respond to auctions within real time. And because of artificial intelligence, it will be able to take decisions while gathering all of the signals that are there, while managing all of the auctions and bids, and making sure that it is being able to provide you with the correct amount of opt-ins as and when are required in real time. So that is how it is able to also capture into existing demand, and also it is able to drive growth opportunities, because these recommendations that auto apply recommendations surface, these are forward looking recommendations, and they will be able to understand when is a particular time, when is a good time for you to opt into a particular recommendation, so that you can expand and improve your overall account performance, right? So these are some of the most important product features of auto apply recommendations. Well, from an agency perspective also, you will be able to scale the best practices. Now, why we say that is because now you can apply auto apply at account level, at MCC level. So you will be able to see that all of those best practices that can be opted in via the auto apply route, you will actually be able to opt into those recommendations, right? You will also be able to improve your overall performance, because once you start using auto apply recommendations rigorously across your accounts, you will see that you will be able to improve your overall performance. We also have a study in which we see that almost every account that improves its overall OptiScore by 10 points is able to improve its overall performance by almost 14%. Right. So we see that there is a direct correlation between improving your overall OptiScore account performance with the overall improvement that it reflects on your overall account performance as well, right? And at the same time, you will also be able to boost your efficiency, because you will be able to save a lot of time on the standardized activities, and you will be able to spend more time, as Pallavi mentioned earlier, on more strategic initiatives that you want to take as an agency, right? So these are some of the most important benefits that will accrue to agencies once they start opting into or accepting auto apply recommendations into their daily work routines. Now, one of the most important things that we want to call out is, why should agencies, really care about artificial intelligence, right? So there are a lot of benefits of, opting or incorporating artificial intelligence into your overall work routines, right? So first of all, you have a commercial impact, because by incorporating artificial intelligence properly, and this is something that I want to reiterate what Pallavi had mentioned earlier, is that it is always important that you leverage artificial intelligence, but it is all the more important that once you are leveraging artificial intelligence, you're doing it with the correct human supervision. So once you have an understanding of how artificial intelligence algorithms within Google work, you will be able to better leverage them for your account performance. And what will that result? It will result in incremental performance. Right. Overall, your market perception is also important. And within the advertising industry, we see that more and more you are able to leverage artificial intelligence. You will see that there will be a preference of clients towards those who are more open to accepting marketing technologies. Right. At the same time, you will be better prepared for what's next, because once you start incorporating artificial intelligence algorithms into your overall work processes, you will be able to set up some best practices, and that you will be able to incorporate, and then that will help you, because artificial intelligence is also an incremental improvement that is going on from time to time, right? So there will be new products that will be coming in, and most of these new products will be based on certain best practices that will evolve from certain previous products, right? So in that case, when you have a particular rigor around artificial intelligence, most of the resources would be well aware of all of the artificial intelligence best practices that have to be used, and they will be able to better apply them as and when incremental overall product changes come into the force. Okay. At the same time, you also get client satisfaction, and you are able to retain more and more clients, because you will be able to improve your overall performance. You will be able to show them an increased ROI from their ad spends, and that will help you retain your clients. And also within your employees also, you will help in their own overall career development. Now, let us look at the auto apply interface. So when you go to your Google Ads ad interface, what you will see when you go into the recommendations tab, on the top right corner, you will see the auto apply icon. Once you click on this particular icon, you will be presented with the entire menu of recommendations that are available within auto apply, and you can basically start opting into these recommendations. When many advertisers have in the past asked us, so once you click on this auto apply button, do you get opted into all of the auto apply recommendations automatically? No, that is not the case. Once you click on this button, you will be able to you will be presented with a set of recommendations from auto apply. You will be free to choose which recommendations you want to choose for your specific accounts, right? There is a lot of control that Google provides you while you are trying to use auto apply recommendations. You will be able to opt into selectively for any particular account. You will be opt into selective recommendations. You will be also, during the overall period of the campaign, you will be able to pause or unpause a particular recommendation. You will be able to look at the change history. Once you go into the change history button, you will have to go and select the filter of recommendations auto apply, and you will be able to see all of those auto apply recommendations that have been opted in the past, right? You will also be able to undo certain recommendations, but within a specific period only. So there is a lot of control, and that auto apply recommendations that advertisers have over auto apply recommendations, and you will be able to actually witness and improve and control over all of your recommendations that you want to apply for your specific accounts. Now, it is very important to understand actually what you want to automate, and there should be a strategy behind how you want to take the overall automation journey for your specific accounts, right? And this is where we try to classify the recommendations also. So once you look into the entire menu of auto apply recommendations that are available, right, we have basically classified them into two buckets. So one is the bucket within maintain your ads, and the other one is on the grow your business side. Right. So within the maintain your ads, you will actually be able to make sure that using these particular recommendations, you will be able to maintain your overall account hygiene. You will be able to scale all of the best practices. You will be able to create impact, because overall your account performance will be up to date, right? And at the same time, when you look at the grow your business recommendations, right, look at this menu of all of the grow your business recommendations, right? And basically through these particular recommendations, you will be able to improve your overall performance of your account. So once you want to find out that there are certain set of accounts where you want incremental performance, right, then you should look at these set of recommendations. We'll be discussing about these set of recommendations in detail going forward, and we will explain you which are those specific levers that you can apply in order to, when you select the grow your business recommendations. Now, when we come into the recommendations, right, what are the main benefits of using maintain your ads? So within the maintainer ads category, you will be able to save a lot of time, because once you automate these particular recommendations, these particular auto apply recommendations will automatically get opted in to those particular accounts wherever you choose. And as and when these particular recommendations keep surfacing on the recommendations dashboard, they will keep getting opted in, right? So you will have to provide lesser and lesser time doing all of the manual tasks or opting into best practice implementation or opting into these standardized recommendations. You will actually be able to automate this whole process, and because of that you will be able to save a lot of time. At the same time, best practice adoption at scale will be possible, because now you will be able to streamline the adoption of Google Ads best practices through opting into maintainer ads, Google Ads, all of the recommendations. And at the same time, you will be able to create an impact, because then you will be able to improve your overall account health. Whereas when we come to grow your business recommendations, please note that these are strategic recommendations that will grow, or that will drive the growth of your overall accounts, right? By optimizing your target and improving your ads to get better results. They are focused on profitability. They will be able to improve your overall account performance. They will be able to capture opportunity effectively. And why we say that is because all of these recommendations will be acting in real time. They will be able to capture a lot of signals within real time. They will be able to act upon those signals within real time. And that, as an advertiser, will give you a lot of competitive edge against anyone who is using manual strategies in order to grow their business, right? So this is one of the competitive edge that you have, because you are using auto apply recommendations. Google's artificial intelligence is basically helping you ascertain in real time what are those best opportunities that you can take, and then on your behalf they are opting into those best opportunities and then providing you incremental performance over your accounts, right? And at the same time, you will be able to greatly improve your impact, because by opting into grow your business recommendations, you're making sure that you're winning auctions and you're performing to the best of your capability in terms of the overall account performance. Now, what are those set of recommendations that you should use, right? So if you are an advertiser who's looking at lead gen accounts, then at that time, I would say that, you should look at recommendations. Obviously, you should look at all of the maintain your ads recommendations, because then they will help you in terms of improving your overall account hygiene, right? So in fact, in terms of like recommendations like removing no traffic keywords, right? So they will look at a 13-month period, and all of those particular keywords which have a very low impression or low CTRs, those particular keywords will be removed. Or you have keyword deduping, where you have similar keywords from a similar ad group that will be removed, right? At the same time, optimized ad rotation to show your ads on the most optimal visibility in terms of being able to rotate them most frequently, right? So these are some of the recommendations within maintain your ads that you can use. But however, beyond that, because you are in the lead gen business, so it will be most important for you to track conversions. So in that case, when you look at the grow your business recommendations, you can basically look at these set of recommendations, because they are more conversion focused recommendations, and they will be best suited for you to grow your overall lead gen business. Now, moving over, but if you were an advertiser who's looking at more of the online sales accounts, right? In that case, it will be the conversion value that you would look to drive, right? So, however, maintain your ads again will be a critical part of your overall account maintenance strategy. You should now look at most of these recommendations that will depend, or that will take your conversion value, and these are some of the set of recommendations that you should look into, and that will be based on improving your overall conversion values, right? Now, when you talk about how can I identify strategic recommendations that are best for me, right? So it's important, because we should be aware of what are these recommendations going to overall, how these recommendations are going to overall impact my accounts, right? And this is where we say that you should actually have smart bidding recommendations and keyword and coverage recommendations, right? So within smart bidding recommendations, how will auto apply play a role in smart bidding recommendations? Now we know that within smart bidding recommendations, we have the TCPA and the TROAS. These recommendations, AAR will ensure that your campaigns are leveraging the most optimal bidding strategy based on the performance and impact on your market trends. Right? So first of all, they will be able to ensure that your particular recommendation, if you have opted into smart bidding recommendations, what is the most optimal bidding strategy that you should have, whether you should have a TCPA or a TROS, right? So that will be able to, auto apply will be able to see and opt into those particular recommendations and make sure that you are always on the most appropriate bidding strategy. And you will also be able to drive your overall strategy of your account, and at the same time you will be able to ensure that you are able to quickly react to all of the auctions and make sure that you are winning all of the auctions. At the same time, you will also be able to club your smart bidding recommendations with keyword and coverage recommendations. So if you club your uh, broad match strategy and the recommendation like broad match, you will be able to, and you club it with the smart bidding recommendations, you will be able to see incremental results. Now we know that broad match as a recommendation has changed drastically, and once you basically club it with smart bidding, what happens at that point of time? So let us say that once you have broad match as a recommendation, what it does is that it actually improves your overall coverage. But once you improve your overall coverage, in that time you risk, because you are at the risk of making a lot of, or participating in a lot of queries that are not relevant for you, right? But this is where smart bidding comes into play. So once you have paired a broad match with smart bidding will actually ensure that you are only participating in those auctions and queries that are most relevant for your accounts, right? So in that case, your relevance and your contextuality will remain in place. You will be able to gain, and you will be able to improve your overall coverage of keywords, and at the same time you will not have to look into manual managing millions of keywords, right? At this So this is how overall, as an advertiser, you can actually benefit by clubbing smart bidding and keyword coverage recommendations. Now, why is it that we want to leverage auto apply within smart bidding, right? We can also go and manually opt into smart bidding recommendations very much. There will be OptiScore recommendations that we can look into, and we can basically try and opt into those smart bidding recommendations. But then why do we say that we should leverage into auto apply of smart bidding recommendations? There are several reasons for it, and I'll explain you now, right? So first of all, the most important thing is that you're always looking at performance optimization, right? So what auto apply will do is that it will make sure that you're always on the most appropriate bidding strategy, right? So if you're on a TCPA bidding strategy and now you have the appropriate number of conversions to move into a TROAS bidding strategy, it will automatically move you into a TROAS bidding strategy, right? So that will help you overall improving your performance. At the same time, it will make sure that for even of your new campaigns, so if you set up a new campaign, you know that you will not be able to directly opt into a smart bidding recommendation at that time, right? But what it will enable you to do is that after a time period of time, when you have definite number of conversions, automatically it will move you into a smart bidding recommendation. So it is very important that if you are managing uh, Okay, there is a particular question. I will address it once I finish over with this part. You will also be able to future proof. So when we say that future proofing, what do you mean by future proofing? You will always be able to move into the smart bidding ladder. So if you have opted into a smart bidding that is supporting you with maximize conversions like a TCPA, you will only move into a TROAS recommendation, right? Because if you have opted into smart bidding with along with auto apply will actually make sure that you're always following the smart bidding ladder, and that you're not coming down the smart bidding ladder. And this will actually help you with specifically with recommendations from board match and RSA recommendations that you're actually trying to monitor. It will actually help you in that case, right? And at the same time, you will have the competitive advantage. Why? Because now you are able to respond in real time to all of the recommendations that are coming in, right? Now we have a question here. Is The question is basically, if will my spends increase if I opt into auto apply recommendations? And I really want to call out here that auto apply recommendations do not change your budget. They do not support any budget change recommendations. Whenever a budget change recommendation will come into you, it will only come into you via the OptiScore part, and then you will be able to decide and opt into those manually, right? And it will never be that auto apply recommendations will go ahead and increase your budgets. So hope that answers your question. Now, the next part is why leverage the auto apply of smart bidding target adjustment recommendations, right? So once you look into your grow your business recommendations, you will not only see TCPA opt-in or TROAS opt-in. Those are the opt-in recommendations, right? So when I told you about opting into recommendations, when you set up new campaigns, you can probably go ahead and opt into those particular recommendations, because as and when you become eligible for opting into a particular smart bidding recommendation, you would actually be opted in via the auto apply route, right? But there are also target change recommendations, target adjustment recommendations. And what do we mean by that? There will be recommendations like adjust your TCPA or adjust your TROS. Now, let me tell you what do you mean by these particular target adjustment recommendations. Right? So, whenever Google artificial intelligence is able to see that there is a particular opportunity where there is a sudden increase of traffic, and your relevant queries and options can actually improve your overall conversions, then it will actually ask you to adjust your targets. And why is it doing that? It's just asking you to become more aggressive in your overall positioning, so that you can win more and more conversions. So by slightly adjusting your targets over your TCPA or your TROAS, you would actually be able to improve your conversion significantly. And this is something that is done at the back end by the overall recommendations engine. The recommendation engine actually is trying to kind of like gather all of the data, and then to do these assessments. And then when it's done that particular assessment, and it finds that it is statistically significant conversion uplift that you will get, then it will kind of like provide this particular recommendation. And if you have opted into a target adjustment bidding recommendation, it will actually adjust the target on your behalf, and so you can improve your overall conversions, right? So what are the benefits? So first of all, we are definitely able to provide real-time response to all of the recommendations. We are able to provide real-time response to all of the changes that are happening. There could be any reason for a sudden increase in traffic, and we are able to respond to those particular situations as well, and we are able to make best use of that. As against anyone who's using manual recommendations, they will not be able to kind of like track these changes on a real time and adapt and react to them so swiftly as you can because through auto apply recommendations, right? And at the same time, these are forward looking simulations, so they are able to kind of like suggest to you these particular recommendations on a forward looking basis. And because they are running these simulations, they will be able to preempt when you have this particular opportunity where you can actually improve your overall conversions by becoming by slightly increasing your TCPA or slightly lowering your TROAS, right? So those are the situations where you can actually utilize these particular situations and improve your overall account performance. Now, why should we add broad match keywords on new keywords automatically? Now, the most important thing when you need to look at broad match is that broad match clubbing with smart bidding is actually helping you focus on the high performing queries, right? So that's the most important benefit that you result out of broad match, is that you are able to really focus on the high performing queries, because now you have given broad match along with smart bidding recommendations over to auto apply recommendations. They're actually able to assist in terms of not just improving your overall coverage, but also being able to assist you in terms of taking the decision when and bidding for those particular options where conversions are most likely, where the conversions are more contextual, where the conversions are most relevant, right? So this is how it is able to manage. And then you don't need to manage millions of variations of the same keyword. It will help you in that. So not only are you able to kind of like use marketing effectively, marketing technologies effectively, overall artificial intelligence effectively, you are also able to improve your overall conversions. You are also able to, in spite of improving your overall coverage as well, right? So these are some of the reasons why we should use broad match keywords and new keywords automatically. So I don't have, another user has asked that I don't have conversion value tracking enabled yet. What happens if I opt in to maximize conversion value? What will happen is basically recommendations engine will actually recommend you that you please go ahead and start, using your conversion value and making sure that your conversion values are in place, right? So please always, whenever you're trying to improve or opt into recommendations, especially the recommendations which involve conversions and conversion values, make sure that your conversion tracking is set up properly. And if your conversion value is not set up properly, then the recommendation engine will actually give you specific recommendations in order to make that amend and improve and ask you to, make amendments to your conversion tracking. I hope that answers your question. Now, what are the best practices of getting the most out of your auto apply recommendations? Right. So like I said that auto apply recommendations is a great tool. Similarly, OptiScore recommendations are a great tool, but there are certain parameters that you should always follow in order to make sure that overall you are able to implement most out of your auto apply recommendations, and also you are able to make sure that you are using or leveraging auto apply and both OptiScore effectively. So now let me spell out some of the best practices that you need to follow. So first of all, you need to review your measurement and privacy recommendations. Always make sure that your measurement and privacy recommendations are always in place so that your account is properly set up, right? At the same time, check your conversion actions and act on them properly, right? So it's important for you to check that your conversion actions are set up properly, your conversion values and your conversions are set properly as estimated, and you're keeping a track of that. And also ensure that your brand campaigns are using some optimal bidding strategy. So in fact, if you are on a target impression share, then in that case you won't be automatically moved to a different strategy, right? So target impression share is one of the good ways in terms of managing your brand campaigns, right? At the same time, you should set accurate conversion values as well, and at the same time you should always make sure that you are setting up optimal budgets and you review your budget recommendations frequently and as and when they are applicable, right? Now, what is the most important factor when we want to say that okay, now we understand OptiScore and auto apply recommendations as enabled? What are the next steps that we should do? So there are several things that we have seen. These are several chronological steps that you can take in order to start your overall optimization score and auto apply recommendations journey, and how you can incorporate them into your overall processes and make the best use of these tools. So first of all, you should always visit your recommendations page regularly. You know, review all available opportunities that are there. Right. Start making sure that all of the available opportunities that are available for you. You are actually making best use of those particular opportunities. I would suggest that you first, if you are just starting into optimization score and auto apply recommendations, you first go into the recommendations page, look at those recommendations carefully, right? uh, and try and see which recommendations are most relevant to you. One thing that we want to again recall is that make note that these all of these recommendations that are being provided to you, right, these are only guiding principles. At the end of the day, you as an advertiser, you have complete control over your account setup, right? So take these particular recommendations, like if you are a pilot, right, and you are sitting in the cockpit, and you have so many signals coming in from different onto your cockpit. You get to see so many different signals, right? But it is up to the pilot to take whatever decision they want to take, right? Similarly, when you are on the campaign journey, think of yourself as the pilot of that overall overall campaign journey, and then you get to decide what are the decisions that you want to take in order to improve your overall campaign performance, right? So these recommendations engine will act as signals coming into you, right? These are the inputs that are coming into you. You will be best be in a position to understand which recommendations are relevant and where you should go ahead and start applying those recommendations, right? Then, once you have started applying these recommendations, you should keep a check into as to properly monitoring these recommendations and following up on these recommendations. Identify any non-performing ad assets and try to optimize them for best results. And then finally, you should have a rigor around reviewing your optimization score regularly with the digital marketing teams, right? So this is how you can basically opt into the overall practice and process of opting into both optimization score. And once you have started using optimization score, you can start using auto apply recommendations also. You can start with maintain your ad recommendations, and once you have started using the maintain your ad recommendations, from there you can gradually move on to the grow your business recommendations also for your overall accounts, right? So yeah, definitely. I mean, you should look into insights and try and see what are the insights and trying to see and incorporate those in your overall account performance. All right. So, I mean, I would like to, at this point of time, I would like to thank you all for this engaging and wonderful session. I would request you all again to please scan this barcode and provide your valuable feedback. It will only help us improve our overall, performance, and we will be able to assess as to how we performed during this particular session. Any last parting thoughts from you, Pallavi?
Yeah, so that I mean, just adding on to your answer that you mentioned to one of your users, Parth, right? So he asked whether uh, insights are relevant enough and how they are helpful, right? So, part to elucidate and to explain in details what Siddharth mentioned, you have multiple levers or multiple types of insights that you can deduce from the ads interface, right? You have performance insights, you have keyword level insights, product level insights, asset level insights, right? So all of these insights together will show you or also will help you understand what kind of keywords, how you can actually change your assets in terms of the creative linings that you have, what kind of products or what kind of products are in stock or out stock, what kind of performance, whether this type of audience, whether your in market or affinity audience and so on is working for you, right? So all of these insights will actually help you understand what is shaping up in terms of the user interaction, and that can actually be used to optimize your overall account performance. You can always focus or prioritize the ones that are giving you more conversions, more profitability in while considering the keywords, while considering the assets, while considering the level of products that you have within your interface, right? So yes, to answer your question, insights are very important. Always make sure that you are looking into the insights over a week span, once in a week, so as to make sure that you're considering most of the important areas when it comes to aligning your artificial intelligence with the human intervention, like I mentioned before, right? And also, Siddharth, before we end, we have another question from another user that states opting into auto apply recommendation will take away control from me. How can I stay updated on the changes after opting into this? Well, auto apply recommendation will never take control from you. You always have the liberty to check the performance on a weekly basis. Once you have opted into a recommendation, you can keep a very close tab on the account performance. And like I mentioned before, just in case any of the specific recommendation is not working in your favor, you can opt out of it and you can re opt into that specific recommendation later in the future based on your account requirement, right? So that's about it. If you have any other questions, you can definitely reach out to us on chat. We are available on, our team might take a little more time in terms of reaching back to you with a proper answer. But yes, we will keep a close tab on the questions that you have and we'll try to answer them on chat as well. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very good day. Thank you.
Thank you.